Semen retention, people will think you're a weirdo on this journey, being an outcast. I think that when you get on semen retention, man, you leave, like you add some, you put something in your life where you're gonna, it's not the norm. You get what I'm saying? And so when you go out of the norm, it's certain things you can go out of the norm and people gonna be looking up to you, and then there's other things you go out the norm and people gonna call you weird and people gonna look down on you and people gonna, you know what I'm saying, call you lame or corny or all these negative words people will try to put on you. I think when you get on semen retention, you start doing something that like 99% of men aren't doing. You know, I think it's very hard to be on this journey and not have a relationship with God, you know, and I think that plays a big role with people not accepting or people not looking at semen retention or defeat and lust as a, like, it's like more than anything, people just don't care. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, I understand as an individual, people might not care, but I think in this generation, man, we put being independent and doing what we want to do over, you know what I'm saying, doing what God wants us to do, or just even doing the right thing. You get what I'm saying? And I kind of see it that to an extent where it's like you can be yourself and carve your own path in life, but at the same time, you have to you have to kind of figure out what's gonna help you on a day-to-day basis and what's gonna hurt you. I think when you lustful and you being promiscuous and you just sleeping with girl to girl, because there's a lot of guys I think that they're against masturbation and stuff, but then they're not against just sleeping with a lot of girls. In which, you know what I'm saying? I honestly feel like whoever I find and whoever I be with one day, I know that person not gonna be perfect. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm not perfect, and I don't have a past that's perfect, right? And so when I look at that, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like you should condone being promiscuous, but I think with certain people, if they're trying to change or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't just, if you look at people who, like, you have to look at what people want too. Sometimes we'll be in circumstances where we're trying to get out of a certain situation, and I just think is nowadays, if you don't care or if you don't think about it, you get what I'm saying? That's when, once you do start thinking about stuff and you do start trying to better your life, people start looking at you sideways, like, what you doing? You get what I'm saying? And so I honestly believe whenever you down and, you know what I'm saying, you struggling, that's when people right there beside you, that's when people, you know what I'm saying, gonna be like, oh yeah, you're gonna get better, man. But once you do get better, once you stop, being promiscuous, once you control yourself sexually, once you decide to stop drinking or smoking or whatever it is you're doing to better your life, and people start seeing you actually getting better, that's when people start being, oh, you weird, you lame, you change, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I've hung around people too where it's like I knew long term that wasn't gonna be good for me to hang around them, and I feel like I was gonna be looked at like, because for a long time, even when I had the addiction and stuff with masturbation and watching porn, I knew I wanted to do the right thing. I knew that, that wasn't right. You get what I'm saying? So my mind was always in the state where, like, I want to be this way. You get what I'm saying? But I was stuck in a way where I was hurting myself and I was doing everything else that everybody else was doing that was hurting themselves, that was hurting them too. And so I feel like once I'm starting to, well, actually, I'm not hanging around those type of people anymore. But I think now, you know what I'm saying, I'm starting to catch a grip of controlling myself sexually, and I'm starting to actually better myself. But it was always the mindset, like I wanted to be a certain way that other people didn't want to be. Other people just didn't care. You get what I'm saying? And so that's the way I looked at it, man. And most people, they don't care about, like, I've noticed with people that I've hung around, the guys that probably get a lot of girls or whatever, or the guys and the girls that kind of, they don't care about being promiscuous. They don't care about, for like, they just don't care in general. You get what I'm saying? If you bring a person around them that care about stuff and that want to change, that want to be better, that don't want to be promiscuous, that don't, that want to believe in God, that want to follow God and stuff like that, those people are going to pick on the guy or the girl that actually want to do right, follow God, and not doing what everybody else is doing. And similar attention is what's going to open your eyes to look at who you want to be in life. It's going to make you focus on your purpose in life. And most people, they're focused on like just having fun and not caring about anything and not focused on their future. They're not focused on trying to work on their future. So those type of people don't mix. That's like trying to mix like vegetable oil with water. It won't mix. You get what I'm saying? And so they'll always kind of be like against each other. And so that's how I see it when you get on similar attention and then you get around a whole bunch of people, you know what I'm saying, who don't care about controlling themselves sexually, who don't care about eating right, who don't care about believing in God. You get what I'm saying? Those people are not going to mix with each other. Because I've been around, I hang around a better group of people now, but then when I used to hang around a lot of different people that wasn't as good for me, that's what I noticed. If you talked about like I want to have one wife or whatever, and I don't want to be promiscuous, they'll laugh at you. The other guys will laugh at you. You get what I'm saying? And so I think that's just a big thing. You got to hang around the right people, man. And you're gonna be looked at, if you try to mingle with those type of people, you're gonna be looked at as an outcast. You're gonna be looked at as a weirdo. You're gonna be looked at as lame or corny or a goody two shoes. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not against having fun. I'm not against having fun, and I'm not here to judge anybody. You get what I'm saying? But if you want to get better, you have to be around people that are where you want to be, and you see that they making steps and they improving their life and they got the same mentality. You get what I'm saying? And so you really got to hang around like-minded people, because if you don't, you're going to be excluded. You're going to be outcasted. You're not going to feel like yourself around people. People going to make you feel bad for how you look at stuff and, how you want to be, you know. People are going to look down on you. So I just think that's an important thing, and you just got to be careful who you decide to be around. So, he's out.